Mohammed Morsi threw fire, like fuel on the fire, I should say, of the protests going on in Egypt last night in a speech when he refused to back down from his current plan to have the constitutional referendum go forward that would basically shield him from any sort of judicial oversight. And opponents of his current plan are saying that it would just bring Egypt back towards authoritarianism. And so there have been weeks now of protest, and it's gotten extremely violent. People have died as a result, and it looks like it's even going to get worse after the speech last night.
So let me give some amazing facts about this. There was clashes on Wednesday from the two different sides, the Muslim Brotherhood side and the opposition group, which is united under the National Salvation Front. And
doesn't sound good.
Yeah, 700 people were injured, 6 were left dead. And then on Friday, the Muslim Brotherhood side was livid because 2 in particular, they, for whatever reason, they were moved by that they had been killed recently in these protests. So not only did thousands of them rally, but they started chanting things that are pretty scary. Now, the chant during the Egyptian Revolution was bread, freedom, social justice. They changed the chant to bread, freedom, Islamic law.
Oh.
Okay, so as a person who's deeply secular, that scares the living hell out of me. But if you thought that was scary, wait till you get a load of the other chants. One was, Egypt is Islamic, it will not be secular, it will not be liberal. Okay, so as a liberal, I'm not too happy about that. I assume it rhymes in Arabic. Yeah. Okay, anyway, and then here comes my favorite. With blood and soul, we redeem Islam.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
That sounds like something you'd say before you drop the blade.
So
yeah,
that's a bit scary.
So this, in this instance, this is exactly what's manifesting itself is exactly what Sean Hannity has been saying would happen if the Muslim Brotherhood got in power.
Well, you know, that's an interesting thing because, so in Turkey, this is the perpetual fear of secularists, which is if you let the Muslim parties win in a democracy, that would be no problem if the democracy continued. They come into power, they come out of power, it depends on how well they serve the people, right? And that is largely how it's worked in Turkey so far. And the Islamic Party has been in power for a long time there, and they've actually done some brilliant stuff with the economy. I'm opposed to them because I'm secular, but credit where credit is due, etc. But the problem is, and the big fear has been, that once they get into power, they change the rules so you no longer have a democracy.
Yeah.
And so Mohammed Morsi, by saying that there is no oversight of my decisions, has, of course, made that come true to at least to some degree. So the fears of secularists in Turkey, and as you said, to some degree, the fears of Sean Hannity, to say that if you have one election and religious fundamentalists win, you might not have a second election, right? And now it's ironic, of course, coming from Sean Hannity because he's a religious fundamentalist here.
Yes.
Right? And he would love it if that happened with Christians here and the evangelical party, which is the Republican Party here. But in reality, this is what's happening, and it's scary.